An old village on the edge of a forest was shrouded in mysticism and secrets. People rarely spoke of their fears, but everyone knew don't go into the woods after dark. No one knew exactly what lurked there, but stories of strange occurrences had been passed down from generation to generation. A young man named Anton, curious and fearless, didn't believe in these tales. One day while walking through the forest, he came across an abandoned hut. The door was ajar, and the inside was dimly lit. Anton resolutely stepped inside. While examining the room, he stumbled upon an old chest covered in dust and cobwebs. With some effort, he opened it and discovered numerous ancient coins, each covered in strange symbols and images. One coin attracted his attention more than the others. It depicted a strange figure with mesmerizing eyes that seemed alive. Anton took this coin with him, unaware of the consequences that awaited him. Back home, Anton began studying the coin. He discovered that the symbols on it did not resemble any known language. Intrigued, he turned to his friend Victor, a specialist in ancient languages. "This is a very unusual coin," Victor said, carefully examining the artifact. "The symbols on it resemble ancient runes, but I've never seen this combination before. They seem to carry more than just decoration." That night, Anton had a strange dream. He dreamed he was back in the forest, surrounded by shadows with red eyes. In the center of the forest stood the figure from the coin, staring at him with its mesmerizing eyes and whispering something. Anton woke up in a cold sweat. The next day, he decided to continue his research. Victor suggested they consult Professor Smirnov, an expert in occult sciences. The professor was an old family friend and knew many secrets. Anton and Victor visited Professor Smirnov, who lived in an old mansion on the outskirts of the city. The professor was an elderly but very energetic man with a piercing gaze. After hearing Anton's story, he was immediately intrigued. "The coin you speak of is associated with an ancient cult," the professor said, studying the artifact. "This figure represents an ancient spirit that was imprisoned inside the coin using a powerful spell. Releasing this spirit could have dire consequences." The professor explained that in ancient times, people trapped evil spirits in objects to control their power, but sometimes these spirits found a way to break free. "You need to be very careful," the professor warned. "Don't keep this coin near you and never try to summon the spirit." Anton thanked the professor for his advice, but his curiosity was too strong. He wasn't going to leave this mystery unsolved. A few days passed. Anton felt as if the coin was calling to him. He constantly had nightmares where the spirit from the coin became more and more real. One night, unable to resist the temptation, he decided to perform a ritual to summon the spirit. He found an old book of spells in the professor's library and prepared everything needed. Anton lit candles, arranged symbols around the coin, and began reading the incantation. The room filled with strange whispers, the candles flickered, and the coin began to glow with an ominous red light. Suddenly, a shadow rose from the coin, taking the form of the figure depicted on it. "Who has summoned me?" a terrifying voice echoed, sending chills down Anton's spine. I wanted to uncover your secret," Anton stammered, trembling with fear. "You have freed me, and now you will become part of my story," hissed the spirit as shadows began to surround Anton. The next day, Victor came to see Anton but found him missing. The room was in disarray, and the coin lay on the floor. Victor immediately understood that something terrible had happened. He quickly called Professor Smirnov and explained the situation. Upon hearing this, the professor said they needed to find Anton immediately before it was too late. "If the spirit fully takes over Anton, it will be impossible to bring him back," the professor explained. Victor and the professor went to the forest, following the professor's guidance and knowledge of rituals. In the center of the forest, they found Anton, surrounded by shadows. He was unconscious, and the spirit had almost completely taken over his body. The professor began reciting a spell to expel the spirit. The shadows began to tremble and dissipate, but the spirit resisted. Victor helped the professor, holding Anton to prevent him from falling. After a long and exhausting struggle, the spirit was sealed back into the coin. Anton woke up feeling drained and exhausted. The professor explained that he had been on the verge of becoming a vessel for the evil spirit, and they had only just managed to save him in time. "You were very close to losing your soul forever," the professor said. "We need to destroy this coin so that no one can ever use it again." They returned to the professor's house, where they performed a ritual to destroy the coin. The coin flared brightly and crumbled into dust. Anton felt better, but the memories of what had happened stayed with him forever. Several months passed. Anton decided he needed to start a new life. He moved to another city, found a job, and tried to forget the terrifying events. But sometimes at night he still had nightmares about the spirit in the shadows. Victor and the professor supported him, helping him cope with the aftermath. They decided to study and destroy similar artifacts to prevent such cases in the future. Anton realized that life would never be the same, but he found the strength to continue. The story of the coin taught him to cherish every moment and be cautious with unknown forces. The world is full of mysteries, and not all of them are meant to be uncovered.